Welcome, welcome, ladies, to the double helix of desire.
Oh, welcome. Gosh, what a weekend this has been. And I think probably quite a prime example of what we're going to be talking about in our very, very first Power series today.
No, it is as well. So this is the first time we've created this like two-part power series before. And really what we wanted to do was to celebrate our upcoming programs and to give them a bit of a stage for you to be able to like experience some of what that might look like. Talking about two really powerful topics that are really, really like, we're so in the vibes of this right now, in terms of what we're going through with our growth in business. And the first one is around this feminine power and feminine leadership that we really stand for. And we're celebrating our upcoming Womanly Leader program, which is what we're going to be talking to you about in this session today. So we're starting with the feminine power and leadership piece. And then on Wednesday, we'll hope that you'll come back into this group and join us for the second part of the power series, which is all around the money, baby.
Money. I'm just looking at some gorgeous people jumping in. So we probably should say, hello, we are so happy to see you. Hi, Lorati. Hi, Joanna. If you are watching us live, do say hello. Jump on in and comment. We love engagement when we're running these things live, when we're running masterclasses. So we're just so delighted to see you all here. And actually everything, all of our masculine, if we're going to talk masculine, all of our masculine constructs this weekend literally dissolved.
Yeah, so all our tech went down.
Everything went down.
It all went down.
Em and I always look at each other and go, okay, this is happening for a reason. If it's happening to us, then it's happening for us. What is the message here that we're meant to be receiving from the universe? And it was very obvious to me on Sunday morning. And I rang Em and said, let's just open the doors. Let's just let them all in. Let's let them into the concert. Let whoever wants to come in and hear this, come in. And she was like, a hell yes. This is meant to be heard by whoever needs to hear it. So we're so excited that you're all here. It is the feminine flow piece. So the masculine constructs disappeared and we let you all flow in. Oh, there's loads of lovely people. Susie, Julie, Claire, Trisha, hello.
Ooh, amazing.
Wow. It's so lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so just a little reminder that obviously we're going to be talking all about the feminine leadership today, but also this is a two-part series. So we'll be back on Wednesday for the first part of the Wealth Magnet program. So talking all about money magnetism and wealth creation. So if you've got any money blocks, then that is going to be a really powerful conversation that we're going to be having on Wednesday. So let's focus on what we're here for today.
Let's focus. I'm just going to say a quick hello to one of our lovely saw ladies. Nick has joined us as well. So
hi, Nick.
Right. Shall we start with the first one? So that's a little bit of an intro. We've got two-part power series today. We've got one Wednesday at 10 a.m. and we've also put in the diary a Q&A on Thursday morning, and we've got that as well. So if anybody wants to come in and jump on with us on Thursday and have a little bit of a chat deeper on what's going on and what you've learned, then we would love to hold space for you to come in and have a chat about that as well. So
great. Can't wait. That's amazing.
Right. And here we go. Let's start.
The Womanly Leader.
Yeah. The first module of the Womanly Leader is all about rise. It's all about rise up. But I think we wanted to step back, didn't we? We wanted to talk a little bit about the context and the concept of what we're going to be starting to talk about, because I know if I speak from my personal experience, this concept blew my mind when I first heard of it. It was just kind of like, oh my goodness, there's more to masculine and feminine than just my gender.
Yeah.
There's so much more. And this is the power piece here. This is real power. So we want to explain to you, if you haven't ever heard of the concept of masculine and feminine energies, what it actually really means. And Em, I know that you talk about it in a beautiful way, so I'm going to let you explain it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think I was thinking back to like when I first heard about even just like this concept of having like different types of energy, like having masculine and feminine energy, and what does that mean? And I was like, my energy? Like, what do I need? What does that mean? Do I need to do some star jumps or start, jumping jacks or something before I come into my business? Do I need to eat a banana for my energy? Like, I was like, what does this actually mean? And I think, particularly if you've been in the wellness space, we talk about energy in a very different way, because we're really thinking about our physical energy, which is the one that we're so familiar with. But what we are sort of inviting you to really try on with this concept, and we don't know how far you are with your journey when it comes to your spiritual journey or your energetic journey, and how much you understand about these concepts. So forgive us if we're going back to basics a little bit, but I thought it was really important to anchor in back into this and just remind everybody, like, what we are talking about here is not physical energy in our body, but it's that real kind of like soul energy, like that vital force that we all have within us. And I truly believe, and I know Ali, you do too, and I think we've got the right audience here to be saying this too, that we believe that we are very much spiritual, energetic beings having a very physical and human experience, and it's trying to navigate the two. Like, how do you have that incredible energetic experience inside of your physical body? And this is where the masculine and the feminine really comes into its own, is understanding the physical, the masculine energy within our energetic makeup, and also understanding the feminine makeup as well. So when we're talking about these concepts, we're referring to not our physical energy, but very much that soul vital force that we all have within us.
Yeah, it's the some people see it as an aura. That's how I like to see it. It's this who you are, rather than just seeing me as Ali in a physical body or M as a physical body. It's how do we make you feel when we're in your presence? That's the kind of energy that we're talking about, the energies of. And in terms of everything that I've seen happen to me in the last 2 years, perhaps even the last 5 years, it's that energy that I come into the world that brings things to me or repels things to me. It's this energy that I bring out that pulls things in or repels. It's this interaction of energies. If you can see that everything on my desk, my crystals, my glass, the water, me, we're all energy just vibrating on very different levels: physical, liquid, human, everything. And it's how we use that energy in our life to create the reality that we live in. And when I first started to hear about this, it took me quite some considerable time to really allow that to land, to start to move from understanding things as physical things to seeing things as energetic things. And then if you can start to work in the energetics of life, this is when we can start to talk very much more about how things become effortless. And this is how we want to start to talk to you about today, and help you feel that effortless flow and that alignment piece. This is all to do with your masculine and your feminine. And one of the things I know that we're both very, very clear on is that offering up these two energies as the balance of two. It's not necessarily 50% masculine and 50% feminine energy. And we'll come into in a minute what those two energies are, but it's understanding your very unique blend of masculine and feminine. So to use Em and I as examples, I would say I'm probably more feminine energy, but I still have masculine energy. And for me, I've found my balance of masculine energy. Just like when you look at Em, she's much more masculine. She likes her things ducks in a row and everything nicely mapped out. But then she's got this beautiful feminine flow that feels very, very supported. And that works for her. So when we bring these concepts to you, we're offering them up for you to try on so that you can find your balance, your blend.
Yeah. And I think one of the reasons why we're so keen to talk about this, and certainly this was the case for us, is that a lot of women come into the coaching industry, or they come into their own business. Even if you don't have your own business, we very much are conditioned and are almost like brought up in a very masculine construct, masculine energy world. Everything is kind of geared that way. So we learn, and we're conditioned to perhaps lead with our masculine energy, because that's the way that companies are set up. That's the way the world is set up for us. And somewhere along the line, we lose that connection with that feminine energy, which, you know, is very much our birthright, really, as women, to be able to have. I mean, it's such a powerful thing for a woman to be able to tap into that. We all have it, but sometimes we've disconnected from it along the way. So we really want to help you through the Womanly Leader, is about reconnecting with how to be that powerful female boss in your work, in a business, in somebody else's business, or in your own business. It really doesn't matter, but to do it in an incredibly effortless way. And Ali, I remember you saying, like, I want to be a badass boss in a floaty dress and trainers. Yeah. And that's really what she was talking about, is that beautiful balance and blend, which is, as you said, Ali, it's very unique to an individual. This isn't to say, right, we've all got to get 50% of this and 50% of that. For me, it might be a 60-40 blend or something like that between the masculine and feminine. But what we really want to try and get to is that when you're in a place where you're in your feminine, you are like 100% of you within that. And when you are in the masculine energy, you're 100% of that. So when the two come together, it's not this 50-50 like blend, it's 100 of this and 100 of that coming together really, really powerfully. And that's where, certainly for me, coming out of a very corporate masculine world into the online space, that was the thing that really made the biggest difference for me. Like, I am a strategist. Like, this is a very masculine energy role that I have to play. And for me, I think I started all in my masculine of strategy and what I was doing and what next, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to do here? What do I, it was all in that energy. And only when I started to understand the concepts which we're going to be teaching you today and really started to integrate and embody that into my world, like, that was when things really took off. And I was like, oh my God, this is like, why did no one teach this to me in school? I felt like I'd been cheated out of something. I was like, how are they not putting this in the GCSE curriculum? This is bonkers. Because it really was that powerful in terms of that shift in the results that I was seeing as well. And I know the same was true for you, Ali. You came to me initially for the strategy.
It will probably come as no surprise then, when I was in corporate, I was very much in my feminine and very emotional and used to cry because nobody could understand that I was so passionate about something, but nobody was listening. And this is when I had to learn very much more around the masculine in terms of my communications, in the structure in which I presented myself, rather than crying my way through it. So when I came to M, it was like, I know what I have is amazing. And I know I can feel so good and I can help people, but I don't know how to get it out there. I'm missing this masculine structure. It's this this flow. This is when we talk about alignment, this is the flow of alignment. You need the structure and the path to get to where you want to be. You need to align to where it is you want to go, whether that be aligning to success, aligning to freedom, aligning to joy, aligning to happiness. You need the path, the masculine structure and path, but you also need the feminine, which is how you walk the path in order to get there. And if you can keep the two together, this is when you align and how you speed up time. And we're going to come up to that at the end as we talk you through this. I just wanted to tap into something that you said around the 100% and the 100% making 200%.
Yeah.
I think that this is just one of the most amazing concepts that you can bring to any relationship you have in anything in your life. And speaking from the heart here, this is one of the concepts that our marriage counselor talked to James and I in terms of when we were rebuilding our marriage together. She was very much, Ali, you bring 100% to this marriage. James, you bring 100% to this marriage. And together you will always have more than 100%, even if one of you is off. And so then this is how we've applied this to everything that we've done. So Em and I show up 100% Em, 100% Ali, you get 200% as part of this. So to help us understand the masculine and the feminine within us, we've given them persona names. Mm-hmm. So going back to, I want to be a badass boss in a feminine way in my floaty dress and trainers. This is our two kind of like personas. we have the boss. We show up 100% as the boss when we're talking strategy, when we're talking structure, when we're talking planning, when we're talking all of these, when we're talking about the path to where we want to get to. We are 100% the boss. But we are also 100% feminine. Right now, you've got us 100% in feminine, in flow, doing what we love, in pleasure, in joy, having fun. This is us effortlessly coming into the masculine container that we have created. So we are the boss and we are the woman. These are our two personas. We are the boss, we are the woman. Together, we make CEOs.
The womanly leader.
The womanly leader is the boss and the woman combined to 200%.
Love that.
So what are signs of when you're out of balance, Em? I think we were going to talk about that before we jumped into our kind of like points that for you all to really try up. We talked about how to, so wherever you are in your journey of alignment, wherever you are, you might want to start to look at these two concepts, your boss or your woman or whoever you want to talk to them about, is that if you're out of alignment, you might be feeling certain ways if you're too much of one or too much of the other. And this is all a practice. Even we don't get it right all the time, but it's just about practice and reflection and recognition. Oh, I'm a bit off. We need to tweak slightly. I'm wobbling. But the signs that we work for, and we wrote some lists, are when we know we're out of balance of our masculine and feminine flows, when our double helix of desire has gone a bit stretched or a bit wonky or not quite right, there are certain feelings that we feel. Stress and burnout can be one of them.
Overwhelm.
Yeah.
These are signs of too much in the masculine: stress, burnouts, overwhelm, frustration because of the pushing.
Resentment, bitterness,
confusion.
anger. Yeah. Confusion can be one sometimes if you're too much in your feminine, I would say.
Yeah, it could be both. Yeah.
Perhaps bored. If you're bored, it could be one. It could be either one or the other. It could be that you're doing repetitive masculine things over and over again, or it could be that, well, I've just been surrendering so long in my feminine, nothing's happening, and I'm really, really bored and apathetic. I need something to move me forward. Another one was stuck. We talked about a lot of people come to us saying, I'm stuck. I feel trapped. That can be a sign of either being too much in the masculine rat race wheel, or my flow has got nowhere to go and I don't know where to put it. I'm stuck. I was stuck. I was like, I don't know what to do with all of this. What do I do next?
Yeah, there was no channel for your feminine flow that you were in, so we needed to put the masculine back in to give you that channel to allow the flow to go. I think the other one for me is maybe around like emotions. Like, I mean, I'm an emotional authority as a human design, so I'm a very emotional person, but when I'm out of alignment, or I'm perhaps too much in one or the other of my masculine or feminine, sometimes it could be either, it's that lack of almost like not control over my emotions, but not being able to just feel into the emotions without them taking over me or compounding on top of each other to the point where it's just like and it turns into a meltdown basically. So it's like there's a way to be totally in tune and in touch with your emotions and feel all of the emotions, but still be very much in your power around them, versus this is emotional overload and I now can't cope and I just need to stop. So I think there's so many signs where the masculine and the feminine can come out of balance. So it's just about recognizing the feelings, I think, around this.
It's strong feelings, is it?
Yeah.
Another one that we know and recognize quite a lot is when things feel hard. This feels really hard. This feels heavy. Okay, what's out of balance here? What do we need to shift? What's not quite right?
I was going to sneeze. Apologies.
So if you're feeling any one of those feelings in quite a strong way, this is where we would like to invite you to start to look at your masculine and feminine and how they work together in this beautiful dance, this twist of this double helix of desire, and start to practice different blends, different ways until you feel, this is good. But I would also say this is something you want to keep looking at as well, because as we move through life, as the seasons change, as our lives change, you're probably going to have to readdress parts of your masculine and parts of your feminine. And that's okay.
Yeah. Even like there are times within the month for us women where that blend might need to be different because our bodies are physically going through the seasons as well. So it's just about recognizing what feels right for you and being able to go, do you know what, I'm totally overwhelmed and things are feeling really hard, but you know what, I've been in my masculine energy all this week. And that's the skill. That's what we want to be able to get to, is that level of awareness, and then also the knowledge around how do you bring it back then into balance.
I love how you use a masculine idea, because I was going to say, well, sometimes I get to the end of the week and I'm just like, oh, but nothing's happened. And I realize I've been too much in my feminine flow. So it's just awareness and also just enjoying about it. Listen, it's just awareness and moving forward rather than getting frustrated and angry at yourself. I was talking to a private client a minute ago. It's like meditation. When we're meditating, we're meant to focus on something, whether that be our breath, our belly moving, the feel of the air here, whatever it might be, your heartbeat. And then we find ourselves maybe distracted by a thought. And there's two ways you can get back to your breath, to your belly moving. And there's one, you can shout at yourself, you can judge yourself, you can get annoyed with yourself, or you can just gently realign with compassion. And this is all that we want you to really think about doing, is that if you're feeling out of balance, there's no need to judge or criticize yourself. It's just the awareness of, oh, look, I got it wrong. I did something else. Let's just move back into alignment. What do I need to tweak? What do I need to change? And just pull myself back gently, because then you're more likely to show yourself compassion and you're more likely to pull yourself back again gently, not slapped and hard. Just gently pull yourself back. It's okay. We're all human. We get it wrong. Bring yourself back. Go again. Okay. So for those of you who know us, we do love an acronym, and we've got one for you today.
Of course we have, as always. There's always a Limitless CEO acronym. We love acronyms because it helps us to put some masculine structure around what we want to talk to you about so that we can then flow within it. But we also find that it helps you to remember as well, like some of the key concepts that we want to talk to you about as an introduction to becoming a womanly leader in your life and your business. So the acronym that we've got for you today is RISE. Very appropriate, because we are rising as female leaders.
Yeah.
So the R, Ali, what's the R?
R. This is all about redefining what a leader means. So we are talking womanly leader. And when Em and I were talking about this before we came on, I loved the way, Em, you spoke about a leader. A leader is often somebody who has been appointed a position, or that they are in charge of something or somebody or some people. What we like to reframe this as part of the Limitless CEO, as part of our principles, is this whole idea of self-leadership first. Self-leadership. When you are the boss, when you are the woman, and you become a Limitless CEO, you lead yourself first. And one of the biggest things that I feel is so important for everybody to recognize, because this was a massive light bulb moment for me, was that people follow an energy. They don't follow titles. Mm-hmm. People follow an energy, not a title. We've all had bosses or people who we've reported into, and I know from experience, that had the same title, but we were drawn to the person and the energy of that person, and we chose to follow them, or we followed them in a positive energy, and we wanted to do things for them, with them, rather than resisting because we were told, because they were entitled to it, because they had a title.
Or the opposite happens as well. I've worked under leaders that have been very repelling in their energy as well. So it can work both ways, because energies can attract and they can also repel people. So I think it's, as you say, Ali, it's, people don't follow titles. They follow courage. They follow brave people that are willing to stand up and do the hard things, to make the first moves, to go first. I think it's actually a line in the film Braveheart, and I distinctly remember it. Well, I remember Mel Gibson in Braveheart is what I remember, to be perfectly frank with you. Oh.
Hold the line.
Sorry, I'm completely distracted now by an idea of Mel Gibson and his kilt. Naughty.
I do love a bit of Mel Gibson.
Oh yeah. So, and I think he says, like, you know, people don't follow titles, they follow courage. He says, I remember him saying that to Robert the Bruce. He says, people don't follow titles, they follow courage. And this is really what leadership is for this womanly leader that we want you to become, is this self-leader first. Because even if you're not leading a team of people in your business, even if you're not leading somebody in your own business, we as women all have a leadership role, because typically we're leading in our families as well. So we are all leading in some capacity. And when we really step into the focus of lead ourselves first, it shifts everything, because we're not trying to then get people to come and follow us. I often hear people say, how do I get engagement? How do I get people to follow me? How do I get people to sign up to work with me? You don't. This is the power of the womanly leader in self-leadership, is that this woman just gets up and goes. She doesn't say, everybody come on, everyone follow me, this is the direction that I'm going in. She just goes for herself first. She does it for her because she loves to do it, because she desires that path, and she's on that journey, and she gets up and goes, and then people follow, because they follow the one willing to make the brave, bold move first, not because they've been told to, not because they've been asked to.
I love that. Just that whole feeling of people following an energy. Yes, they follow courage, but they also follow confidence, and they follow because they're going to feel safe with you. They're going to follow the person that they feel confident to follow. And then that is how you create the following. You create a following, whether you're building a business online, whether you're in a corporate world and trying to create change within it. You create a following with the energy, and the energy comes from you, your energy from within. They will follow your energy. And then following that, the titles, success, the clients, the promotions, the money then follows that too. But you create
the movement by creating. You move first to create the movement of all of those other things.
You do it for yourself.
And what that looks like in business, I suppose, like if we're going to okay, let's look at this what does that look like on a practical level? It means when you're building your brand, you build the brand that you love, that lights you up and activates you the way that you want it to be. Because if you're lit up by it, if you're going down that route, then other people that love that too will follow. If you do your social media content because you want to say that, and because that's what is resonant for you, they're your reflections, it's your thoughts, it's your ideas. You do it for you first, not because you're trying to get engagement or likes or loves or comments or shares or any of that thing. You do it because you want to share.
Yeah.
And then people follow. So it's just all about, what do I desire to do? If I'm choosing my path, which path am I choosing? Which post am I putting out today? Which platforms do I want to be on? Where do I want to go?
I remember thinking very early on, I want to create a business that I love so much that I don't mind whether money comes or people come, but I'm going to be doing this anyway because I love it so much. And that has steered me in it's taken me on an amazing journey because I let go of all of the outcomes. I think if we're thinking masculine and feminine here, you as Limitless CEOs, one of our Limitless principles is that we lead with desire. So you lead with your passion and you lead from that place first. We lead with our feminine energy, the pleasure, the love. That's not to say that we don't show up as the boss too, because the boss comes in and the boss is going to provide the platforms, create the structure behind it so that your feminine can flow. We wanted to talk about this so much because we love, and we could talk about it all day. We can, and we will, and we're going to continue these conversations in our programs. but we wanted to talk about it because we love it and we love what it's done for us. But we created a masculine structure for you all to come in here today. We set up masculine structures to talk about it so that you could find your way here today. So we still showed up as the boss to create this container, but we had the feminine flow first. So that's Rise, isn't it? Redefining leadership. Leadership is energy. You lead with your energy. I'm going to sort my dogs out. They're just barking outside my door. So over to you for the I to start with.
Okay. So the I in our Rise acronym is all around integrity. Integrity. And we spoke recently about this in our Limitless Principles masterclass that we did inside of the private Limitless CEO group. And integrity, when I think about integrity, I think about this idea of completeness, of wholeness. And I'm thinking about this in terms of myself. Like, if I am a whole person, there are many, many different sides to me as a person. Like, I'm a diamond. Like, I always say this to my clients. Like, often people will say to me, I'm a jack of all trades. I'm like, no. Oh, no, you're not. You are a beautiful, shiny, multifaceted, multi-passionate diamond. And you have many different sides to you. And they all are part of you. And so this is really what integrity means for me, is being able to show those different sides if I wish to, and to bring all of those different pieces of me into who I am, into my being. And I know when we talked about integrity, you had a slightly different word for this. Mine was like wholeness, completeness. Yours was?
Mine was truth. So integrity to me really means stepping into your truth, and truth to me is my soul. Goes back to right within. My truth is my soul. My truth is the spiritual being that has been given a physical body to live in. So my truth is my feminine soul, and my physical is my masculine. So once again, we've got masculine and feminine here. It's the yin and yang, the two sides. So my truth, what's my truth? Integrity as a woman leader is me showing up as who I am in my wholeness and in my whole truth, And I know we wanted to talk about wholeness and truth here in terms of maybe bringing in Limitless Principle. I've written it down. Which number is it? Number 7. Limitless Principle number 7 is where we talk about very much about the emotion side, that often that we don't like to be vulnerable. So we kind of walk with this armor around us and we don't show our truth. We show up in our power suits, we show up fully in our physical presence, and we diminish our light and our truth within us and don't let anybody see, because we are too scared to be vulnerable to show that part of us. All of our diamonds that Em's talked about, all of the beautiful sides of us, we're too nervous. And in Limitless Principle number 7, I talk about the peach and the egg. And what we're doing is we're holding a case around us that's so strong, and we're fearful of that shell being cracked, because if that shell is cracked, all of the stuff inside just goos out everywhere, and we can't afford to let that happen. We don't want to be gooey and melt down in front of everybody. But what we want to try and do is start to see ourselves as peaches, where we are still whole, but we're vulnerable on the outside. We are soft, but we're also hard on the inside. We're strong
to the core, resilient.
So this is vulnerability, showing our softer side, leading with soul, being open up, being whole, showing all of it, and showing ourselves vulnerability, or showing vulnerability to others. And if we look at the feminine leaders in this thought leadership, you only have to look at Oprah. Brené Brown has written multiple books, amazing TED Talks. Vulnerability is courage. And that's one of the things that helped me start to turn into this peach, was to be able to show my vulnerability, and in doing so grow strong, because I will be okay.
Yeah. It's so interesting, isn't it? Because I think often we think about vulnerability as being a weakness, and it's not. It's actually your strength at your core. is that ability to be vulnerable and be seen for who you are and be heard for the things that you want to say, please or offend, because not everyone's always going to agree with you, but that doesn't mean to say that you stop shining your light just because there are going to be people that, you know, don't want to follow your leadership.
We're getting lots of comments. I've just realized, I'm sorry that we've not been following your comments. We've been in our full feminine flow, haven't we? Just sharing this all with you. Lorati says, yes, my truth is my soul. Lovely, being true to yourself always, says Anna. I think there's a few more. Yeah, vulnerability is saying yes to being truly seen. Absolutely, all of that. Yeah.
And you know what, if there are still parts that would rather, you know, keep behind closed doors, like we're not talking about having to show your entire life on the internet here. That's not what vulnerability is all about. And I think sometimes people mistake showing up and being seen for who you are with showing everybody everything.
Nobody wants to see me cutting my toenails this morning, really?
No, exactly that. So it's not around, right, I need to share my entire life online. That's not what we're talking about here, but it's being okay with saying, do you know what? I am an emotional authority. I am an emotional person. I do wear my heart on my sleeve. That is me. That's one of my sides. And I'm going to be seen for all of that.
I love that. And I think that leads us nicely onto the S of our RISE acronym, because our S stands for stage presence. And I know that this is one of the things that Em and I have truly loved as part of stepping into our womanly leadership roles as leaders of this movement, to help other women become womanly leaders, standing in their truth, shining their light, sparkling like diamonds, but doing it in a badass way. I will deliver results as me. And this stage presence, we've loved to be able to think about this as having personas, you know, the two personas. And this isn't anything to do with being inauthentic or authentic. It's just, who are we when we come on stage? Just like Beyonce is Beyonce behind the scenes, she's Sasha Fierce when she comes out onto the stage. And when we talk to a lot of our private clients, this is the example that we have used for them to really understand who they are when they're shining their light. When you are leading, you are that confident, courageous woman leading with energy. We are still who we are behind the scenes. For those of you who know me privately, know me as Boo. For those of you who know me, you know, as private clients, I am still me, the relatable person with 2 dogs, two kids, and a penchant for chocolate in the evening. I'm still me. Just like M is MZ.
Yeah.
Or your private nickname with your family. You're still that person.
Yeah, to my family, I'm MZ or I'm Totty, which is a name that I was given when I was a toddler. And some of my family, they still call me Tots to this day. There's a little vulnerable share right there for you. People in my family still call me Tots because I used to totter around like a busy little bee all day, just like my daughter does. There's a lot of me in her and her and me. But yeah, it's about saying, okay, this is who I am when I'm at home, behind the scenes, when I am a wife, when I am a mother, when I am a daughter, a sister, a friend. But then I'm also the CEO with Ali of this movement. And when we show up in our business, and that's what we mean when we talk about being on your stage, is when you show up in your business, when you show up for your job at work, when you take a step through that front door in the office in the morning, when you go live on Facebook, when you show up at an event or you're speaking or any of that, when you show up for your clients, who is that version of you? Because it's all you, it's just you're turning up the heat. You're turning up that power, the energy on who you already are.
You're lighting your soul up. You're turning yourself on. You're just, it's like when I turn on the Arga, I turn it up. That's such a Yorkshire phrase, isn't it? It's just like, as Em said, you're powering up the switch, you're turning up the dial, and you're leading in your truth, in your integrity. You're leading with your energy. You are leading with your light energy, and that is your soul, your truth, your integrity, your leadership. You go in as that and you leave the fears and the doubts behind you, because there is no space for that when you're coming in to lead others with courage. You know, and you stand in your truth because you know it. And that is what creates beautiful, authentic leaders, when you can turn that heat up and stand in your truth, and what makes people listen to you.
And that's one of the really fun things that we've done to help us to actually like visualize how this happens when we take to the stage, when we show up in our business. When I say take to the stage, I don't mean that you have to be on a live or you have to be in front of people at all. When you take to the stage, that is just you showing up to do anything in your business, even if it's behind the scenes, even if you're writing a piece of content, you still want to do it in that on stage energy. You still want to bring that power into your words so that people feel that energy through you. And one of the things that we thought was really, really fun to do is to give ourselves that like stage name. And obviously, because we're a duo in coaching, I remember sending Ali a YouTube clip saying, oh my gosh, have you seen this? Like two powerful women standing in their power individually, and together they are on fire. And it was the Super Bowl with Shakira and J-Lo. And it's so funny because Shakira starts off and she's all in her sparkly red and shaking her thing, and her hips are going, and she's bubbly, and she's fizz, and she's here, and she's there, and I was like, Ali, you are Shakira. When you show up in the business, you are Shakira, how she shows up on stage. And then the lights go down and it's like, boom. Right, everyone, let's get down to fucking business. Let's get down to business. And J-Lo's there, and she's all in her leathers, and she's all like, right, don't anyone mess. This is where we're going. This is the serious stuff now. So we laughed. So I was like, right, Ali, you're Shakira. I'm J-Lo. We are very individual, powerful in our own right. And then we come onto the stage together to bring both our magics, 100% of both. So if this really helps you to create like this stage persona, find that person that captivates you when they're on stage. Maybe it's an actress or a TV presenter or another singer, and almost like allow yourself to pretend you're in that persona, so that when you come into your business, you're like, right, bring out J-Lo, bring out Shakira, bring out Beyonce. Like, who is that power woman that you're able to relate yourself to? And it's just a really fun way of being able to say, right, whatever's going on, what would J-Lo do? What would Shakira do? So it's lighthearted, but we find out it really helps us to like visualize what that really feels like when you show up in your most powerful. It's like you come onto the stage and you're just the best version.
The best bits of it. I was just going to say, it's the best parts of you that you lead with. And as we talk about energies, we're also talking about your brand here. Wherever you are, whether you're an online business, whether you are a lawyer, a consultant, a doctor, you are still a brand. People are still going to be talking about you when you're not even there, but they will be talking about your energy and your brand. Who are you when you show up? Who are you when you show up? Your clients will follow you wherever you go because of who you are, no matter which company you work in. And I know you've had that example when you were a marketing director. People followed you, no matter.
Yeah, I moved around agencies, and every time I moved agencies, I took clients with me, because they had yes, they bought into the company to a certain extent, but they bought into me as a personal brand within that company. So when I moved and said I'm going this way, they followed, they came with me. So it's really important to create, even if you're working underneath somebody else's umbrella, it's also really important to know what your own personal brand is within that, like who you are within that and what kind of leader you are. Not just clients, but also I've had other team members that have worked underneath me have also moved agencies with me because they follow my leadership. Yeah. All right.
Yes. We're on to the final one. The E.
Effortless. A womanly leader is effortless. She makes it feel effortless. She knows when to lean in and when to lean back. And you'll have heard us talk about this double helix of desire masterclass as like a dance. between the two. It's the lean in, lean back, lean in, lean back. Rather than be going lean in, lean in, lean in, lean in. Oh shit, I'm going to topple over. Better start to now put the brakes on. Stop, 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 stop. Gonna fall, put the brake. And this is what we do. And then sometimes it's, oh, leaning back, leaning back, leaning back. I'm so leant back. I'm horizontal. Everything's stopped. Nothing's happening. Oh, I've fallen asleep in my meditation. So it's like, how do we get this lean in, lean back, lean in, lean back, without falling flat on our faces or flat on our ass?
It is. And this weekend, actually, I shared a post talking about effortlessness. Effortless was my year. I said to Em at the beginning of 2021, I said, this year, my word is effortless. I want to make things feel effortless. I want to make it look like it's effortless. And I feel that I've got to that point. And as I was sitting and doing some reflection over the weekend and last week, it was a dawning realization that effortless doesn't mean that there's no effort, because I still put in a tremendous amount of effort into my life, into business. There is always an effort. It takes effort to run a business in my masculine and my feminine. It takes effort to run my household. It takes effort to build houses. It takes effort to look after children. But what makes it feel effortless, I'm struggling to say that today, is the fact that I love every part of it. I love the effort that I'm putting in because I'm passionate about it, because I love it. I love everything that we do, so it feels effortless.
Because you do it in your woman. You do it in the feminine energy, the woman. You bring the woman into everything you do, into your marriage, into your motherhood, into being a project management for a house, into the business that we run together. Every part of our lives, we bring that woman in.
The pleasure, the flow is the feminine, the fun. When you bring all of that to the effort of your masculine, that's what creates this dance of the double helix. That's what makes it feel and look effortless. I think it's also, if you can imagine waves, like Em was talking about leaning forwards and leaning backwards, we can be lying in waves and there's always something going forward and there's always a wave coming back. Yeah. It's when you're
undercurrent, isn't it?
There's always an undercurrent of the two, and it's how do you gently surf the crest of that wave, or those waves going in and out. It's that beautiful dance and just you effortlessly riding along the top of it and allowing it all to happen. Effortless leadership is what we're looking for here. No forcing, no pushing. If you're pushing and there's so much effort, then take yourself back and ask yourself, how can I fall in love with what it is I'm trying to do here? And if I do not love it, then allow yourself to walk away from it, or you find a way to love it so that it becomes effortless. This is 100% boss, 100% woman that creates the 200% limitless CEO. And when you can understand this, just like I've understood this under Em's beautiful leadership and tutorship in the last 18 months, in doing my own studies and bringing all of that in and putting it into practice and continuing to practice it, this is how this year everything has become effortless and the results have started to come. And we have created a brand new brand in 6 weeks, Effortlessly, because we have loved the effort so much that it has felt so good. And no matter how many times things come in to try and knock us off our alignment path, we're like, oh, let's just get back up and we'll carry on. Just like this weekend with the website going down and all of our emails going down, it was just like, oh, our masculine structures have fallen apart. Okay, let's put our feminine flow somewhere else. It's obviously meant to go down a different channel. That's the beauty about water. Water will always find another way to flow. And it
always finds the path of least resistance as well. So if you're resisting, if you're feeling that, those feelings that we talked about at the beginning, it's hard, it's overwhelming.
So that's the end of our acronym RISE for the womanly leader. we are going to be taking our conversations in all of these 4 areas. This was just the first module of the Womanly Leader. I'm just trying to think, I think there's 7 modules, aren't there?
Yes, there is.
7 modules of the Womanly Leader. And if I can talk to the whole of the Womanly Leader, this is in response to understanding who you are when you do the things. This is the effortless thing. This is the effortless piece here. When you're finding that you are doing and you're forcing and you're trying to grow and you're trying to find the clients and you're trying to find the customers and you're trying to build and you're trying and you're doing all of the things, but it feels hard and you're forcing it, you are in your masculine. And what I have hugely learned in the last 18 months, that it doesn't matter what you do, you will get the results that you desire when you become the woman you were destined to be, to do those things. And by focusing more on being who I am, who I desire to be, when I do these things, when I walk the strategy, when I do the things I know I need to do in order to build a business, to have a life, to create a life for my sons, for me, that is where the difference happens. Mm-hmm. It is in the being, the who you are, the energy that you lead in, right back to the beginning of what we first talked about. It is your energy that creates the difference of having an okay mediocre life to having an exponentially amazing upon amazing upon amazing life. It's who you are, and it's who you are becoming that creates the difference. And that is what we talk to in the Womanly Leader.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like you can have the strategy, but we could give the strategy to the same strategy to 100 different people. And why is it that it's working for some people and it doesn't work for other people? It's not the strategy, it's not the doing, it's who they are being within the doing. It's the power they're bringing to the stage presence. It's the integrity and the wholeness of themselves that they're bringing into that masculine container. And again, it's that dance, isn't it, between managing the lean in and lean back and knowing when to do each of those, when to say, right, foot to the floor, and when to say, and relax and breathe. It's understanding what that looks like within yourself as well, because it's never the same for 2 people. And I think it's being able to have that level of awareness of some of the, knowing when you're out of balance, to be able to realign really, really quickly and stand in that alignment and stay back in your power. That's what it's all about. Magic.
The magic happens. The magic happens, and the supercharge and the speed happens when you get this dance. Mm-hmm. We teach a lot about the structure and the framework, and we have a program, the Well Balanced Business, that teaches the structure of what you need to do in order to build a business online. This is the energetics. We do teach energetics within the Well Balanced Business program, but this is the leveling up. And this is what I've learned, because I've gone through the Well Balanced Business process and framework, which is Em's coaching and teaching, multiple times. And the success I have seen is when I have become a different version of myself in the application of the strategy. I have been working on myself, on my energies, on my alignment, on my thoughts, on my beliefs, who I am, my stage persona. And that is what has supercharged my results, and the speed of our success here is by focusing on who we are.
Yeah. If you want to go faster,
become the Womanly Leader. Yeah. So herein lies the end of our first module of the Womanly Leader. We are going to be back on Wednesday with the first module of the Wealth Magnet. This was an amuse-bouche. This was the taster of the Womanly Leader. If this is something you would love to learn more about, to know more about, to embody, to integrate into your life in order to have that level of success and following and create that beautiful energies, then the Womanly Leader is going to be starting on the 15th of October. I think that's next week, isn't it? It's next week.
Yes. I know. It's come on really quickly.
Oh, I'm so excited about that. So that starts next week. We're really, really excited about that.
So in terms of like next steps, if that's something that you are interested in finding out more about, or you'd like to send us a message and ask any questions about that. We haven't actually officially launched the Womanly Leader program, so we're talking about it here first for the ladies that are joining us for this masterclass series. And something that we want to do for you in this group was to also offer you an incredible opportunity to join that program if this is something you want to dive deeper on, at a very special VIP rate. So our Womanly Leader program is £888. That's the standard investment for this program. But if you're here now inside of this container, there's always rewards for people that take the first step. So if you're here now, we'd love to offer you that program for £555. So you really do get all the best stuff when you come and join us inside of these containers. Just a thank you for being here. And we like to reward those that are willing to lead themselves, take the brave and the courageous step forward, which is what you've done by being here in this Double Helix of Desire masterclass. You're the ones that said, yes, I want to go there. I want that journey. I'm going to take that first step. And we always reward that within our business in so many different ways. So that's our reward to you. If you're interested, let us know. We can send you the link for that. We start Monday, so it's coming up really, really quickly. We're absolutely buzzing for it, as you can probably tell. And it's just really going to be us going so much deeper into all of these concepts and how, you know, what that means for you and how you can apply that and really embody that in your life and your business to the level where you become the womanly leader. This isn't about learning a concept. This is about becoming and really, really integrating that, so that you have zero doubt.
One of the things that we do in our feminine energies is price our programs. And Em said to me this morning, she said, it came through to me so clear on my run this morning, Al, that we need to offer up the Womanly Leader for these ladies inside this container for 555. How do you feel about that? Now, I love angel numbers. And my response was, would you know what 555 means? And Emma's like, no. I said, 555 means the change. 555 as an angel number is all about becoming the change. So for me, that was a hell yes. I'm a sacral authority. It was like, yep, that's it. Let's offer it up. So if you are ready to become the change, to be the change, to see the change in your world and to shift into that leadership of energy and leading with your energy, leading with your soul, leading with your desire, then this is the program that is going to enable that. Because I know from experience that having been very masculine or having to trap my feminine into a very masculine construct, it takes bravery and courage to change the way in which you have always done things. What I would say is, if you wish to see a change in your world, then you need to change the things that you do and the way in which you do them. The definition of madness is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. If you wish your world to change, if you wish to grow your business, if you wish to grow your stage presence in whatever stage you're on, then you need to change. And this is the program that is going to enable that. It's going to speed it up because it's all about your energy and becoming. This is understanding more and more and more and more about this masculine and feminine, the boss and the woman, to become the CEO of your life. So if this is something that you desire and you want to feel that change and see the change, then we will be dropping the links in later. If you're coming back on Wednesday because you want to talk more about money magnetism, we're going to be talking about how you can apply these principles to very much about how you work in the energy of magnetizing money and embracing the richness of life. So we are back Wednesday, 10 a.m. and we'll look forward to seeing you then.
Thank you all so much for being here. We'll see you soon.